So in this video, I want to talk about the Natural Balance Mastery programs and what to expect. So starting off, I want to talk high level with the Natural Balance Mastery program and why I structured the course the way I did. So the first 30 days of the Natural Balance Mastery program is building your golf swing, because that's what most everyone wants, and that's how you have fun in golf, is you want to hit the golf ball well. So if we think about the basic methodology of the Natural Balance method, there's really two fundamentals that you need to focus on. And so I'm highlighting it here, and that is your arms are going to swing, so we need to correctly account for that in the swing. And then your body's going to turn, so we need to correctly account for that in the swing. And so what happens is most people just set up to the golf ball and then try to hit the golf ball. And then there's an infinite amount of golf tips online that people try to simplify their swing with, but they're never the right thing you need to be focusing on. So what you need to be focusing on is that your arms swing uniquely around your body, and that your body turns uniquely, and that's how you build your best golf swing. So really, it's in 30 days, you build your best golf swing. So the next thing I'm going to highlight is there's one way that you swing your arms through and then back and then through and back, where they're doing the same thing every single time, where your arms are swinging the most consistently. And this is the Balance of the Arms module, which you can see here and preview the 40 videos in that module. And so if I go over to this sheet here are the learning objectives. So you can see the basic logic and how I modeled the swing. You need to get your arms swinging consistently, get your body swinging consistently, and there's a natural balance where there's one exact way, because I don't like, oh, feel this, feel that. No, there's an exact way that you need to do it. And so here are the learning objectives here that I'm highlighting everything you want to know. And then under those learning objectives, I have videos. So if I go over here, there's the learning objective. It's 40 videos total for the Balance of the Arms section, getting the arms to swing in the same way every time. And you can go through and preview what those learning objectives are and what the videos associated with that is. And so there are the videos associated. So for instance, getting a consistent release with the Natural Balance method. These are the 2 videos associated with that. Getting the trail arm working correctly in the body. So there's learning objectives. So I won't spend too much time on that. And then just like the arms are going to swing, the only other thing that's going to happen in the swing is your body's going to turn. So we need to turn it in the same way every time. The ball's not moving. We need to build our most repeatable swing where we have an emphasis on doing the word same. We want to swing our arms in the same way every time. And then we want to swing or turn our body in the same way every time and find that natural balance so the club can run into the ball effortlessly without us getting endlessly frustrated with golf. So it's the natural balance of the body, and there are 68 videos associated with that if you preview this natural balance of the body, and you can see the order in which you're supposed to watch them. 1, 2, 3, 4, they have a number in the bottom right corner. And so the same thing, you can see that here's the Balance of the Arms learning objectives, and then here is the Balance of the Body learning objective. And as you can see, once we get our arms swinging in the same way every time, and we get our body turning in the same way every time, down here, there is 2 things left to do. And that is, we need the ball to be in the right spot in our stance for that. When we swing our arms the same way every time, we turn our body in the same way every time, the club meets the ball within the ground. So the ball needs to be in the right spot. And then our grip also needs to be really good, where both arms can continue on that natural balance where they can swing. Because if both arms and hands aren't on the club together in the right spot, then our arms can't swing back and through. And we want the club face to be square. So those would be the last 2 things that you need to do. And then also in the Balance of the Body section, there's a couple times where we are combining the arms in the body. And in this section down here, it's about feeling your golf swing, because when you combine the arm swinging and the body turning and all the different points in the swing, it's how well you can feel that. And so you can, that's 60 day, you can preview that when you go to the module over here. You click on it, you can see all the videos. And then the next thing after that is, okay, you know all the information with the Balance of the Arms, you know all the information, the Balance of the Body, and your grip, and where the ball should be in your stance. Now it's about building the skill to be able to do that. And I think there's 11 videos in the skill building section where we're building the skills to be able to take this to the course. And then also that's kind of what the drill section is right here. There's 7 drills that I have in here that you can practice that get you feeling the swing better, where you can take it to the course. And then for my seniors, I have a senior edition section to the mastery program. And I believe that is 38 videos. And again, you can click on it and map it out. So if I go and scroll down, here's where I have the senior videos mapped out. I think I added one. I think it's 38. And then there are the learning objectives associated with the senior golf swing. And so maybe I have it on here. But the senior golf swing is all about, there are things in the balance of the body section that you'll learn that when you combine the bounce of the arms and the bounce of the body, again, we're making the swing as simple as it can possibly be. There are still things called sequencing and timing. So when you start the swing, which you'll learn this, and this might sound super complicated, but you need to start the swing with your body first and then your arms. And then there's timing at the top where you can't just turn at the top. You have to wait until the right moment to then turn. And so with my senior section, it's about making the golf swing truly as simple as you can possibly make it. If you're electing to turn your body and swing your arms, then the natural balance swing is as simple as you can possibly make the golf swing. But you can make it even simpler, and that's what the senior edition is. So if you're someone who's over 50 years old, or if you're also someone who struggles to break 100 and getting any solid contact on the ball is very hard, this would be the simplest way you can possibly hit the golf ball. Because we're making the swing one simple thing, and outlining the course, we're making the swing one simple thing where you're presetting impact in a good position. And if you're electing to turn your body, you have to abide by the balance of the body and the balance of the arms. But if you're saying, I don't want to turn my body, then there's only one thing left to do in the swing, and that's swing your arms. And so you preset your body in a perfect position where all you have to do is swing your arms. And then you hit the ball from the inside, hit the nice little draw out there, ball first, inshallah. So that's the senior section, and there's 38 videos associated with that, how we take the natural balance method and then hone it in to make it even simpler. And then there's the short game. I think there's around 60 videos in there where I go over chipping with the natural balance method, and it's the same thing with chipping. And it's even, as much as I know you want to build the good swing, because I mean, obviously that's what I wanted more than anything, is to cream the golf ball. Short game is how you're going to score even better. And so say you take this program, I guarantee you, if you watch the chipping, the pitching section versus the swing section, you'll save more strokes from my short game section than developing a really good swing, because that's where it matters, is that's where you're getting the ball in the hole, is you need to chip and pitch the golf ball very close and hit good bunker shots, because that's where you can rack up all those strokes and shoot a high score. And so for as much as I've simplified the swing, as simple as you can possibly make it, I've also done that with chipping, because it can be so overcomplicated, but it's the same thing. You want to get on that natural balance when chipping, where you're hitting the ball then the ground. And then pitching, we make a few adjustments. And then 30 to 80 yards, that section might help you more than anything, because that is actually where I struggled the most. Is there were times when my golf swing was good or okay, and I was kind of getting by, but then you'd get to 38 to 80 yards and it's such a weird yardage, and it's like, okay, from 50 yards, how do I hit the ball first, because it's not my swing? And that's where the natural balance method really helped me the most, because once you get on the natural balance, you continue on that natural balance even from 50 yards. And then over here is and this is all in the 60 day, which they're both included. And this is the driver section here. And so there's 16 videos, and we make some adjustments with driver. Mainly the only thing is ball position, because we want to hit up on the golf ball, and that's where we can potentially even get the ball going 300 yards, is we need to have the right circumstances as we're hitting the ball. So then if we look to the right here, we have the tools. We have a hula hoop, we have a dumbbell, and we have a tennis racket. And if you've watched my instruction, you know I love these tools, because for as much as information as I knew about the balance of the arms and balance of the body, it was hard for me to feel that. And that's the golf swing, is you need to feel the swing. Otherwise, it's not going to be a good swing, and you have to know what you need to do and what that feels like. And the dumbbell, this guy right here, the dumbbell helped me more than anything, because it's going to be hard to manipulate a weight like that, whereas a club you can in certain situations. So the dumbbell, see the feel, the dumbbell's for the feel, getting you feeling the swing. And so There's a 38 video, you can preview it. There's a 38 video demo course. And then there's a 10 video course for the hula hoop to help you visualize what the balance of the body, what your body's doing. And then the tennis racket is how can we maintain a very good club face where we can get the club face squaring, where the ball doesn't go way off to the right or way off to the left, it goes towards target. So visualize, feel, control. And then in the 60-day, with those tools and with the driver and with the short game and everything else, we look at the senior edition for my seniors. How does all this correlate, and how can we use the dumbbell in the senior method? How can we use the hula hoop in the senior method? The tennis racket. Does chipping change? Does our technique change from 30 to 80 yards? So 23 videos there where I cover all the natural balance methods for my seniors. And so that is what the Natural Balance Mastery programs cover and what you can expect. And I, like you said, you saw how I mapped it out, and I made learning objectives on, okay, if we're trying to learn the balance of the arms and the balance of the body, what's the simplest way and what do you need to know to truly be able to master these things? And then I made the videos to be able to learn those learning objectives. And then I recorded all the videos. And as of now, I'm not quite done filming the 60-day, but I know for the 30-day, it's already about 10 hours of content. So it's not for the faint of heart. It's truly if you want to take the next step and master the natural balance swing and you're serious about improving, then I think the mastery program is a great option to you to truly take that next step in your golf game. And then the other thing is you will have access to the mastery program chat down here. And so I pinned it to the top. So as you're working through the program, I will monitor the chat and check in. And if you have a question about certain lessons or pointers or things you're struggling with or clarification points, then you just put that in here. And also other members will be in here so everyone can work together as you try to master the natural balance method. Hopefully that helped you understand the high-level overview of the Natural Balance Mastery programs and what you can expect.